Illawarra Citizen Advocacy is part of a worldwide movement that aims to recognise, promote, protect and defend the rights and interests of people who have an intellectual disability. It does so by finding and recruiting valued members from the community to come forward as advocates. Advocates freely choose to form a one-to-one relationship to a person who has an intellectual disability, and by coming forward, standing beside them, promoting them, protecting and defending their rights and interest and welfare, simply as if you would one of your own.
Hi Lynn, hi Mark. How are you? Not too bad, yourself?
Do I have all the anything?
Oh, you know, not too bad, yeah, pretty good. I was thinking, because it's such a lovely day today, we might go down the beach for a bit.
Well, I first became involved with Lynn when I was asked by the coordinator of Citizen Advocacy to take on the role of being an advocate for a person who had quite a number of disabilities. I see my role as protector, as a confidant. You know, Lynn tells me lots of things that and she knows that I won't go around the district telling all and sundry those deep problems. And as a role model, I hope that's okay as a role model. I hope I'm a worthy role model. Because over the years, Lynn has been neglected. She's been taken for granted. Her needs have been swept under the carpet. And she just hasn't really been taken seriously. Since I've known Lynn, we've looked at quite a few ways that Lynn can be helped. I've helped to take Lynn to counselling sessions and parenting courses, and I've attended these with Lynn because she has needed me there to be understood, and I see it continuing for many years to come. We're in this for the long haul. It'll be hard in the future because as the children grow, their problems are growing and they're becoming more demanding in some ways, but Lynn needs that sort of support even more. So I must be there, but I want to be there, so it's not a sense, I don't feel it as a sense of duty. I feel it's something I want to do, and I really can't imagine my life without Lynn. I've only known her since March, and she's changed my life completely. Haven't you, Lynn?
Don't know how.
Don't know. Yes, you have though. Yes. So we see it as a long-term friendship.
Remember what Julie was saying, just like a gentle waterfall figure. Julie then spoke to me about a particular young fellow. I spent some time talking to my family and asking them whether they thought there was something that we might be involved in. And then Julie started to talk to me about not just a general introduction or opportunity to be involved in the program, but a particular young bloke that she had in mind, who she'd been keen to have an advocate for some time. So Julie then spoke to me about Michael and told me a bit about school and a bit about home and told me a bit about him as well. Michael was about to head, you were in primary school then, weren't you, when we first met? And so Michael was in those interesting transition years from primary school through to high school years, and they can be, lots of changes take place then, and it seemed to be good to have someone who'd just be able to be alongside Michael during those times. Michael has a little bit of trouble communicating as well, and so to be able to spend some time with some people that will help him to talk and to communicate well. So yeah, there are a number of reasons. Also some social skills, get Michael mixing with some kids, those sorts of things. What's knowing Michael been like for me? Well, it's got me riding my bike a bit more often, which has been good. That's been good, hasn't it? And Michael's a lovely, you can see he's a lovely young bloke. He's got a big smile. You should have seen him, and he's very loud sometimes. Should have heard him playing table tennis. Every point that he won, everyone in the Northern Illawarra knew about it. So Michael's lots of fun. and he's very, very friendly, and so Michael's sort of become part of our family. That's why I think citizen advocacy is important. It's important because there are many people out in our community who don't always get they certainly don't get the inside running in life. They're easily pushed to the sideline because sometimes they're not the easiest people to get along with and the easiest people to communicate with. So it can be easy for them to be pushed to the side. And so it's important for someone to, I love the word advocate because it means someone who stands up for someone else. And so there are some people in our community that desperately need other people to stand up for them, people who do have a voice and people who do have some authority or some responsibility. And so it's good for them to be able to, for us to be able to speak up on behalf of others who can't.
There was a lady called Joanne who really, I guess, was someone that didn't have family that we knew of, and had a fairly hard life as such, and really was someone that could value from the program and the relationship, I guess, that a friendship or someone that can actually support her, and it's an independent relationship, so I like that philosophy in that I'm not sort of bound by any particular department. I'm actually here for Joanne, and that's the main crux of the friendship. Apart from the relationship that I've developed with Jo, like a friendship, my role is very much also as a support role in making sure that her rights are adhered to, and that I attend meetings on her behalf in that sense, and also participate in looking at any future goals or plans that we're trying to sort of look at for Jo. I mean, as a fellow woman, I really admire her courage and her resilience. I mean, when you hear Jo's story, I mean, you know, it really does make you feel humbled, I guess, by the fact that you have a woman here that still smiles, is still happy, is still compassionate. And I think that's where, you know, I guess if I was to encourage people to come into a program like this, that really the benefits are, I mean, knowing Jo has really brought us back to reality. And I think my young daughter, you know, has seen someone that she just really promotes the simple things in life as such. It's unconditional friendship. It's where there's a trust that's been developed, which, you know, we really want to, and I think that's why the relationship we really want to continue, because we can see that we're gaining as much from it as Jo is as such. So yeah, that's how I sort of see myself as an advocate and as a friend.
Hello, Tristan. I was asked to be Tristan's advocate when his family moved up here from Victoria. They didn't have any family or friends to support them here, so there was a real need for an advocate in Tristan's life.
In the park?
I see my role as that of the auntie, but also I have to be aware of his needs and rights, especially within the education system. At the moment he attends a school for children with special needs, but I'd really like to see him go to the local primary school with the boys and girls that live in his street. Tristan's mum has always been very open to any suggestions that I've made about him, to help him make friends out of school. So he's had swimming lessons and he's had basketball lessons. When I pick Tristan up, we have a visit every so often. We go to the park. And you come back to my house. And play with the dogs and in the birds, raised birds. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes we go to McDonald's for an ice cream. You like that? So I think it's a great relationship that we have, and it'll be a real joy to watch him grow up. Won't it? Oh, it's a cold kiss. Yeah, it was a cold kiss. Yeah. No.
It's just like velvet. You feel that little bit there, how soft it is.
Oh, that's only him just brushing He's just brushing the flies off, so yeah, the flies get on him. I first met Ken almost 4 years ago now. Julie Clark took me out to his home to meet with him and his mother, where they were living at Oak Flats. Ken was living in a very small room, sharing with his mum, and spent most of his life in that room, didn't you?
Yeah.
One of the sad things that I found was that not only was he being exploited or abused by outside influences and services, he was also being abused by his family. And that was a very difficult thing to have to try and work through with Ken and help him to sort of get out of the situation that he was in and start to look at what he would like to do with his life, because he wasn't making any of the choices. Ken really wanted to get his own place and be independent and sort of care for himself. So that was something that we looked towards doing, and he's really achieved that. He's got a lot of help to do that, but he's also helped himself so much. It's like this morning was a typical example. He rang me and said, I said, what are you doing? You're puffing. He said, I'm trying to get all the housework done before Linda gets here so that she doesn't have to help me do anything and we can just sit and have coffee. Yeah. So I thought that was great, because he's a man that wants to sort of look after himself and take care of himself and look nice, and so that was that. Those little things are really enlightening to sort of hear, and just that Ken has such a good feeling about himself now. To actually like yourself and believe in yourself and have someone else believe in you makes a big difference in your life. And when everybody's walked away and you've been forgotten and everybody's given up on you, if there's people out there thinking about becoming an advocate, I think that's one thing that you can give back to a person, because sometimes people feel as though, why go on? And one person can make a big difference.
It doesn't matter if people can move mountains, but it does matter if we move people to feel compassion for humanity. That's where the real learning and living starts. Citizen advocacy is a catalyst for such progress. People with intellectual disabilities have lives that are often filled with unfulfilled hopes, broken dreams and anguished denials. The heart of the matter is that one person can and does make a difference.